Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with desertion and cowardice, the extreme penalties of the Roman war machine. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Let the noise of today fall away as we step back, not just hours or years, but centuries, into the vast theater of crime and punishment in ancient Rome. If you genuinely like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. Volta, the Roman military, a complex and formidable apparatus, operated with precision and discipline. It was organized into legions, each consisting of approximately 5,000 soldiers, further divided into cohorts and centuries. This hierarchical structure allowed for efficient command and control, ensuring that orders could be executed swiftly across diverse terrains. Soldiers were not merely conscripts, they were trained professionals, often serving for decades, and their commitment formed the backbone of Rome's military might. Beyond sheer numbers, the significance of the Roman military extended to its engineering capabilities. Fortifications, roads, and siege engines were integral to their campaigns, facilitating movement and logistics. The construction of these infrastructures showcased not only military prowess, but also the extensive reach of Roman civilization. The presence of this force could often dictate the stability of regions, influencing local politics and economies. Combat strategies evolved continuously, adapting to encounters with various cultures. The discipline instilled within the ranks fostered a sense of loyalty and cohesion, critical in maintaining order during prolonged engagements. Yet, the immense pressure placed on soldiers inevitably led to instances of desertion. Such actions were met with severe repercussions, reflecting the overarching ethos of the military and the society it served. This intricate relationship defined the Roman war machine and underscored the consequences of failure within its ranks. Desertion represented a profound betrayal within the ranks of the Roman military. It was not merely an act of leaving one's post, it was a breach of loyalty and duty that imperiled the collective strength of the legion. Soldiers were bound by an unyielding code, one that demanded unwavering commitment to both comrades and the empire. The repercussions of abandoning one's unit were severe, often leading to public humiliation, execution, or forced labor. In this environment, the stigma attached to desertion loomed large. Those who fled were viewed as pariahs, their names sullied and their honor stripped away. The mere act of desertion could inspire fear among the remaining troops, instilling a sense of mistrust and uncertainty. Such betrayals could unravel the very fabric of unity necessary for the success of military campaigns. The methods employed to deter desertion were as varied as they were ruthless. Harsh penalties served as a grim reminder of the stakes involved. The presence of strict disciplinary measures reinforced the notion that every soldier's actions had far-reaching implications. The potential for severe punishment created a psychological barrier, urging soldiers to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. This atmosphere of accountability ensured that loyalty remained paramount in the relentless pursuit of victory. Military campaigns in ancient Rome were characterized by their rigorous structure and discipline, which stemmed from the Republic's emphasis on civic duty. Commanders held the power to enforce strict penalties for any act perceived as cowardice, creating an environment where the consequences of desertion could be dire. Such actions were not merely personal failures, they threatened the integrity of the entire legion, prompting a response that was both immediate and severe. In this context, The Roman legions operated under a code that dictated behavior on and off the battlefield. The soldiers, often facing insurmountable odds, were acutely aware of their comrades' reliance on their courage. Desertion was viewed as a betrayal, leading to punishments that could range from loss of property to execution. The collective memory of past battles echoed through the ranks, reminding each soldier of the sacrifices made by those who came before. Military strategies employed by Rome were meticulous, each maneuver calculated to maximize efficiency and minimize loss. This approach extended to the logistics of maintaining morale, ensuring that loyalty was not merely a concept, but a lived reality. As legions marched across vast territories, the weight of expectation rested heavily on their shoulders, forging bonds that would. The ideological foundations of Roman valor manifested through a complex amalgamation of duty, honor, and loyalty. Central to this ethos was the belief in the supremacy of Roman civilization, which positioned military service as both a privilege and a sacred responsibility. It fostered an unyielding commitment among soldiers, binding them to the empire and each other in a relentless pursuit of glory. The idea of virtus, or manly excellence, permeated the ranks, serving as a guiding principle that demanded courage in the face of adversity. This region, marked by the echoes of campaigns long gone, was a testament to the sacrifices made in the name of Rome. The valor celebrated in the annals of history was often juxtaposed with the stark consequences of desertion. Abandonment of one's post was met with severe reprisals, reinforcing the notion that the sanctity of unity outweighed individual desire. Loyalty to the legion was paramount. Anything less was considered a betrayal, not only of comrades, but of the very ideals that upheld the empire. In the midst of relentless battles, these soldiers carried not only their weapons, but also the weight of an entire civilization's legacy. The ideological foundations of valor dictated their actions, propelling them forward into conflict and shaping the future of Rome itself. This unwavering dedication became a hallmark of the empire's enduring strength. Cowardice represented a profound deviation from the values upheld by the Roman military and society. It was not merely an individual failing, but a stain on the honor of entire legions. The act of desertion, for instance, was seen as a betrayal, an abandonment of duty that could lead to severe repercussions for both the deserter and their comrades. The implications of this behavior extended beyond personal shame. It threatened the cohesion and effectiveness of military formations. In this context, cowardice was defined not just by the act of fleeing, but by an intrinsic failure to embody the virtues of bravery and loyalty. The Roman ethos emphasized courage as a fundamental trait, essential for the survival and success of the empire. Societal interpretation often involved public humiliation and harsh penalties for those found guilty of such acts, reinforcing the collective identity tied to valor. The cultural narrative surrounding cowardice fostered an environment where fear could lead to dire consequences, not only for the individual but for their families and fellow soldiers. This perception was cultivated through a blend of legal consequences and social ostracism. Such measures ensured that the specter of cowardice would loom large over the ranks, influencing behavior and shaping the decisions of countless soldiers throughout the expansive reaches of Roman territory. Discipline within the Roman legions served as the backbone of this formidable military structure. An unwavering commitment to hierarchy and order defined the interactions among soldiers, enhancing their effectiveness in combat. Rigorous training regimens instilled not only physical prowess, but also an extraordinary level of mental fortitude, enabling them to execute complex maneuvers under pressure. This environment cultivated a strong sense of camaraderie, reinforcing loyalty among soldiers and promoting a collective identity. The punishment for disobedience was severe, ranging from fines to corporal punishment. Such consequences were not merely punitive, they served as a deterrent, ensuring that every soldier understood the gravity of their responsibilities. The presence of officers, known for their authority and discipline, played a pivotal role in maintaining this strict adherence to conduct. The unwavering gaze of a centurion could evoke a sense of urgency, compelling soldiers to remain vigilant. This environment of discipline also contributed to a highly organized command structure. Orders flowed seamlessly from the highest echelons to the soldiers on the ground, minimizing confusion during critical moments. The ability to maintain formation during chaotic battles often determined the outcome of engagements. The cost of failure, whether through cowardice or disobedience, reverberated throughout the ranks, embedding the principles of discipline deep within the ethos of the Roman military. Desertion carried severe consequences, extending beyond mere legal penalties. It represented a profound breach of trust, not only among fellow soldiers, but also against the state itself. This act of fleeing from duty often resulted in public disgrace, marking the individual as a coward and stripping them of their personal honor. The social ramifications were equally severe. Families of deserters faced stigmatization, leading to ostracism within their communities. Legal repercussions included harsh punishments, such as execution or forced labor, meted out in a manner designed to instill fear and maintain order. Military tribunals assessed the gravity of each case, and decisions were not taken lightly. The threat of severe punishment acted as a deterrent, reinforcing loyalty among those who remained committed to their posts. Military environment, the notion of camaraderie was critical. Soldiers were acutely aware that their survival often depended on the unwavering resolve of their comrades. In instances of desertion, the ripple effect could demoralize entire units, leading to diminished morale and increased vulnerability on the battlefield. Those who returned after deserting faced unyielding scrutiny, and reintegration into the ranks proved nearly impossible. This rigid structure, with its legal and social implications, manifested starkly in the lives of prominent Roman generals. These individuals often operated within a perilous balance of personal ambition and loyalty to the state. One notable case is that of Gaius Julius Caesar, whose military campaigns expanded Roman territories significantly, but also demonstrated the consequences of desertion. When soldiers abandoned their posts, the repercussions often extended beyond mere disciplinary actions. Loyalty was paramount. Betrayal could mean execution or severe punishment, impacting morale and the cohesion of entire legions. In contrast, the general Publius Quintilius Varus faced a different fate when 3 legions deserted during the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. This catastrophic loss not only decimated Roman forces, but also prompted a re-evaluation of recruitment practices and loyalty pledges, emphasizing the critical need for trust within the ranks. The aftermath saw a shift towards stricter oversight of soldiers and their allegiances, further solidifying the consequences of betrayal. Similarly, the case of Marcus Licinius Crassus illustrates the interplay between leadership and the threat of desertion. His ill-fated campaign against the Parthians ended in disaster, compounded by the defection of troops who sought safety over loyalty. Each instance reflects the broader implications of desertion within the Roman military, revealing the fragile nature of trust in a formidable war machine. The strain of prolonged conflict on soldiers manifests in various forms, deeply affecting mental states and cohesion among troops. Anxiety and fear often grip these men as they navigate the uncertainties of battle. It is in this environment that the weight of individual decisions becomes apparent, influencing not only personal actions but also the collective morale of entire legions. The relentless pressure to perform, combined with the omnipresent threat of death, fosters a pervasive sense of vulnerability. These conditions lead to a phenomenon known as combat stress, where the mind struggles to cope with the harsh realities faced daily. Such psychological burdens can result in withdrawal from comrades, further eroding the fabric of unity essential for effective military strategy. Isolation becomes a coping mechanism for some, creating a chasm between the individual and their fellow soldiers. This disconnection heightens the risk of desertion, as those overwhelmed by fear may see escape as the only means of reclaiming their autonomy. The repercussions extend beyond the battlefield. Returning veterans often grapple with the lingering echoes of their experiences, struggling to reintegrate into civilian life. Thus, the psychological impact of war not only shapes individual destinies, but also reverberates through the ranks, casting shadows on the once unyielding strength of the Roman military machine. The need for unwavering discipline emerged as a cornerstone of military efficacy. This evolution in standards reflected a society that demanded not only strategic prowess, but also an unassailable commitment from its soldiers. The rigorous training regimens and the application of strict codes of conduct served to forge a formidable fighting force, instilling both fear and respect among adversaries. Throughout the ages, expectations of military personnel expanded, encompassing physical endurance alongside mental resilience. Leaders sought individuals capable of withstanding not only the rigors of combat, but also the psychological strains that accompanied prolonged engagements. This duality necessitated an adjustment in recruitment practices, emphasizing character traits such as loyalty and bravery. As these standards solidified, so too did the mechanisms for accountability. Disciplinary actions for failures in courage or desertion became increasingly severe. This shift resulted in a culture where the stigma of cowardice was met with harsh penalties, reinforcing the collective ethos that valor was paramount. Through these measures, the Roman military sought to maintain an unwavering front, safeguarding its reputation amidst the chaos of warfare. Amid this evolution, the complexities of human behavior became evident. Soldiers contended with internal conflicts, grappling with fear, doubt, and the harsh realities of combat. Such struggles underscored the intricate relationship between individual psyche and the broader expectations placed upon the military. This intricate relationship became further complicated by the terrain in which campaigns unfolded. Vast deserts, towering mountains, and dense forests shaped not only the strategies employed, but also the morale of the troops. Harsh climates, such as the sweltering heat of arid regions, tested the limits of endurance, leading to increased instances of fatigue and susceptibility to illness. This environment influenced decision-making, often forcing commanders to adapt their tactics to the physical realities of the landscape. In contrast, lush valleys and fertile plains provided abundant resources, enabling armies to sustain themselves during prolonged engagements. These areas became focal points for conflict, with control determining the balance of power. The ease of movement across such terrains allowed for swift maneuvers which could decisively alter the course of battles. Rivers and mountain passes presented both opportunities and challenges. They served as natural barriers and strategic choke points, dictating the flow of supplies and reinforcements. In some instances, this geography allowed smaller forces to leverage their knowledge of the land against larger, less familiar armies. The interplay between geography and military capability revealed a delicate balance, where the environment could simultaneously empower and hinder initiatives. Understanding these landscapes was essential for any successful campaign, illustrating how physical space shaped the very fabric of military endeavors. Leadership played a pivotal role in maintaining morale and minimizing desertion within the ranks of the Roman military. Effective commanders understood the psychological dynamics of their soldiers, fostering loyalty through a mixture of discipline and empathy. It was not merely the threat of punishment that kept troops aligned, rather, the presence of strong leadership instilled a sense of purpose and belonging, vital for cohesion during long campaigns. Charismatic leaders often earned the trust of their men, creating a bond that transcended fear and obligation. By prioritizing the welfare of their soldiers, they cultivated an environment in which desertion became less appealing. Frequent communication and recognition of individual contributions helped soldiers feel valued, reinforcing their commitment to the cause. Strategic placement of capable officers across units also ensured that supervision remained vigilant. These officers acted as a direct link between high command and the soldiers, relaying important information and maintaining discipline. The swift response to grievances further diminished discontent, addressing issues before they escalated into widespread disillusionment. Thus, the landscape of leadership was as crucial as terrain itself. This relationship established a framework within which soldiers could navigate their fears and doubts. In a complex web of loyalty and discipline, effective leadership emerged as a cornerstone of military stability throughout the volatile epochs of Roman warfare. Loyalty served as the bedrock of Roman military ethos, fostering a profound sense of brotherhood among soldiers. This bond transcended mere tactical alliances, extending into the realm of personal sacrifice and shared honor. Each soldier was not just a cog within a vast war machine. They were integral members of a community defined by mutual reliance and unwavering trust. Such connections were nurtured through rigorous training, where the harshness of the environment solidified relationships forged in adversity. The ideals of brotherhood manifested in various ways, including the practice of sharing spoils and celebrating victories collectively. Comradeship was reinforced by rituals and traditions that underscored the importance of standing together in the face of adversity. This sense of unity ensured that soldiers remained resolute, willing to endure the harshest conditions for one another, thereby enhancing overall effectiveness in battle. Failure to uphold these ideals had dire consequences. Acts of desertion were viewed not only as personal betrayals, but as assaults on the very fabric of military cohesion. Such actions invited severe penalties, reinforcing the notion that loyalty was paramount. The repercussions served as a reminder that the strength of the legions lay in their collective spirit and dedication to each other, ensuring that the Roman military machine progressed with unwavering purpose through the trials of war. The influence of propaganda on soldier morale proved crucial in maintaining the unwavering resolve of the legions. Through carefully crafted messages, the Roman leadership fostered an image of invincibility and glory, instilling a sense of pride among the troops. This region, marked by banners and proclamations, served as the battleground for psychological warfare, where soldiers were reminded of their role in the great narrative of Rome. In the midst of conflict, tales of valor and heroism circulated, elevating the status of those who performed gallantly. These narratives, often exaggerated, created a culture where acts of bravery were not just expected but celebrated. The creation of a shared identity among soldiers contributed to a sense of belonging, bolstering morale and minimizing the fear of failure. In contrast, stories of cowardice or desertion were met with disdain, reinforcing the consequences of betrayal. This duality in messaging shaped the perceptions of the soldiers, creating an environment where loyalty to Rome became synonymous with honor. The tools of communication extended beyond mere words. Visual imagery and public displays perpetuated a sense of duty and commitment. Through these means, the essence of the legions transformed into a powerful force, driven by ideals that transcended individual fears. The Roman military machine, supported by this psychological framework, continued to advance, embodying the collective aspirations of a vast empire. Fear permeated the ranks, manifesting as an omnipresent force that guided behavior and decisions within the legions. Commanders wielded this potent weapon not just as a means of control, but as an essential component of military culture. Disciplinary measures, often severe, reinforced a climate of obedience, where the consequences of failure could be drastic and swift. The specter of punishment loomed large, deterring desertion and insubordination among soldiers. In this environment, the threat of violent retribution served as a powerful motivator for maintaining cohesion. Soldiers understood that their survival depended on unwavering loyalty to their comrades and allegiance to their leaders. The repercussions of cowardice were designed to be public, ensuring that the lesson resonated deeply within the ranks. Executions and physical punishments were not merely acts of discipline, they were strategic demonstrations aimed at instilling a sense of shared fate among the soldiers. This reliance on fear created a paradoxical relationship with bravery. While soldiers were compelled to act valiantly against external threats, the internal dynamics of the unit fostered a dangerous environment where loyalty was prioritized above all else. In this context, the Roman military's reliance on fear transcended mere psychological manipulation, embedding itself within the very fabric of their operational ethos. It was a crucial element that ensured the continued efficacy of one of history's most formidable military forces. Instances of mass desertion in Roman history illustrate the complexities of loyalty and discipline within the ranks. The Second Punic War highlighted such occurrences, particularly during the campaign in the Italian peninsula. Soldiers, weary from relentless conflict and disillusioned by the leadership, chose to abandon their posts. This decision had profound implications for troop morale and the strategic landscape of military engagements. Another significant episode unfolded during the late Republic, as the Roman legions faced increasing pressure from both external threats and internal unrest. The social upheaval of the 1st century BCE contributed to widespread discontent among the ranks. Troops, burdened by inadequate provisions and harsh conditions, began to see desertion as a viable option. The legions stationed in Gaul experienced notable defections, which weakened their ability to maintain control over the volatile region. The consequences of these acts were severe, often met with swift retribution. Commanders sought to re-establish order through punitive measures, reinforcing the notion that desertion equated to treason. Such responses served to deter potential defectors, yet they also fostered an environment of fear and mistrust. Beyond the battlefield, these moments reflect the broader challenges of maintaining unity in an expansive empire. The dynamics of loyalty were constantly tested, revealing the fragile balance between duty and personal survival within the grand narrative of Roman military history. The harsh reality of prolonged warfare often eroded the initial fervor of commitment among soldiers. Over time, the endless campaigns, marked by relentless marches and drawn-out sieges, transformed camaraderie into a burden. This shift in morale was palpable. As fatigue and hardship took their toll, soldiers began to question their purpose. Grappling with the psychological strain of extended conflict, it became increasingly difficult to maintain the fervent loyalty that had once been a hallmark of the Roman legions. In these dire circumstances, the prospect of desertion loomed large. The fear of punishment for abandoning one's post was overshadowed by the desire for survival and the hope for a return to normalcy. Many soldiers found themselves torn between loyalty to their comrades and the instinct to preserve their own lives. The impact of isolation, coupled with the relentless demands of warfare, fostered an environment ripe for discontent. The repercussions of desertion were severe, serving as a stark reminder of the consequences of abandoning one's duty. Executions were not uncommon, their grim nature reinforcing the importance of loyalty. Yet, for many, the threat of punishment became secondary to the overwhelming urge to escape the horrors they faced. This internal struggle defined the experience of countless soldiers, revealing the complex interplay between duty and the instinct for self-preservation. This intricate dynamic can be observed across various ancient civilizations, each exhibiting unique approaches to military discipline and the consequences of failure. In ancient Greece, for instance, the concept of honor strongly influenced soldier behavior. The Spartan warriors, renowned for their unwavering loyalty, faced severe repercussions for desertion. Unlike their Roman counterparts, they were often subjected to public humiliation or banishment, emphasizing the social ramifications of abandoning one's post. The Persian Empire adopted a different perspective, prioritizing strategic withdrawal over the stigma of cowardice. Their approach allowed soldiers to return and regroup, fostering a sense of resilience rather than focusing solely on punishment. This flexibility contrasted sharply with Roman rigidity, where the consequences of desertion often included execution or decimation, a method that systematically punished a unit for the actions of a few. Similarly, the military practices of the Carthaginians underscored the importance of loyalty, but incorporated mercenary forces, complicating the notion of desertion. As these soldiers often had different allegiances, the penalties for abandoning a campaign varied greatly, reflecting the diverse motivations within their ranks. Examining these varied practices highlights how each civilization grappled with the balance between maintaining discipline and accommodating human instincts. Punishment served as a fundamental mechanism for enforcing loyalty among soldiers. This region, marked by rigorous expectations, imposed harsh consequences on those who displayed signs of disloyalty or cowardice. The response to desertion often extended beyond mere reprimands. In many instances, examples were made to deter potential breaches of loyalty, reinforcing the notion that each soldier's commitment was paramount for the collective strength of the unit. The penalties varied significantly across different armies, often reflecting the prevailing cultural attitudes toward honor and duty. In some cases, the ultimate consequence for abandoning comrades in battle was execution. This served not only as a deterrent but also as a grim reminder of the weight of allegiance within the ranks. Other civilizations opted for less lethal forms of punishment, such as public humiliation or forced labor, aimed at re-establishing the soldier's loyalty through social ostracism. Discipline was further maintained through structured hierarchies, where leaders were tasked with monitoring the morale and fidelity of their troops. These officers understood that loyalty could be a fragile construct, easily undermined by fear or discontent. The imposition of punishment, therefore, became a necessary aspect of military strategy, ensuring that the cohesion and effectiveness of the fighting force remained intact. The interplay between fear and loyalty shaped the dynamics of the ancient battlefield, contributing to the enduring legacy of these forces. The physical and mental challenges faced by Roman soldiers were profound, influencing their performance in the harsh realities of war. Enduring long marches across unforgiving terrains, these individuals frequently traversed arid landscapes and steep mountains. Each step exacted a toll on their bodies, rendering fatigue an omnipresent adversary. The weight of their armor and equipment often exceeded the limits of comfort, forcing them to adapt or falter under the burden. Mental resilience was equally critical. Training regimes were rigorous, designed to cultivate a mindset capable of withstanding the psychological stress of combat. Fear of dishonor and the specter of punishment loomed large, reinforcing the need for unwavering discipline. Soldiers faced not only external threats but also internal battles, grappling with doubt and the instinct for self-preservation. The potential for desertion, while viewed with disdain, often emerged from these intense psychological pressures. Isolation from home compounded feelings of anxiety and homesickness, leading to a yearning for familiarity and safety. The camaraderie forged among peers offered some solace, yet it could not entirely alleviate the strain of constant vigilance against both enemy forces and the pervasive threat of betrayal within ranks. This complex interplay of physical demands and mental strains defines the experience of Roman soldiers, shaping their legacy as formidable yet deeply human entities. The relationship between soldiers and civilians often hinged on perceptions of courage and cowardice. In the eyes of society, the valor displayed on the battlefield was a source of pride, while any indication of retreat or desertion was met with disdain. This sentiment permeated Roman culture, influencing the behavior of both soldiers and the populace that supported them. The stigma surrounding cowardice was profound, leading to severe repercussions for those labeled as such. Civilians viewed soldiers as guardians of their way of life, entrusted with the defense of their homes and values. Consequently, any act that deviated from the expected standards of bravery was scrutinized and condemned. This environment fostered a sense of loyalty, compelling soldiers to adhere to societal expectations, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The pressure to maintain a facade of unwavering courage often blurred the lines between individual experience and collective perception. Soldiers faced not only the external threats of war, but also the internal struggle against the fear of being perceived as weak. These dynamics created a complex emotional landscape where honor and shame coexisted, deeply impacting the soldier's actions and decisions. The consequences of being labeled a coward could result in social ostracism or even execution, highlighting the harsh realities of this binary view of courage and fear within Roman society. Economic pressures played a significant role in influencing desertion rates within the Roman military. Soldiers faced harsh living conditions, often exacerbated by insufficient supplies and inadequate compensation. This environment fostered discontent among troops, leading some to abandon their posts in search of better opportunities or relief from dire circumstances. The lack of adequate provisions not only undermined morale, but also created a sense of desperation that could drive even the most loyal soldiers to consider leaving. What you are in the most loyal soldiers to consider leaving, for to drive even the most loyal soldiers to consider leaving. In this milieu, the disparity between expectations and reality became apparent. Promises of land and wealth upon retirement were often unfulfilled, leaving many warriors questioning the value of their service. Economic instability in the provinces further contributed to a sense of futility among the ranks. When local economies faltered, the support structures that soldiers relied upon began to crumble, diminishing their perceived stakes in the ongoing conflicts. Additionally, the effects of inflation and taxation should not be overlooked. As the empire expanded, the financial burdens placed on its citizens increased, leading to a strained relationship between the military and the civilian population. Soldiers, many of whom had families to support, became more susceptible to the allure of abandoning their duties in pursuit of stability. This complex interplay of economic factors influenced not only the functionality of the Roman military, but also the strategies employed to maintain discipline among its ranks. Rewards and incentives played a critical role in combating cowardice, creating a system that encouraged bravery and loyalty among troops. Promises of monetary bonuses, land grants, and social elevation served as powerful motivators. These incentives were often tied to specific achievements, such as the successful capture of enemy fortifications or displaying valor in the heat of battle. Such rewards not only recognized individual efforts, but also fostered a collective spirit of competition among soldiers. The recognition given to exemplary conduct through public accolades strengthened morale, binding soldiers to their comrades and to the empire's cause. This region, marked by the remnants of extensive military encampments, offers insight into the psychological tactics employed. Orders were sometimes reinforced through the establishment of veteran communities, where those who had displayed bravery could share their stories and enjoy the fruits of their sacrifices. In instances of cowardice, the repercussions were severe, contrasting sharply with the incentives offered. The threat of dishonor served as a counterbalance to the appeal of rewards, ensuring that the delicate equilibrium of fear and aspiration within the ranks was meticulously maintained. This duality shaped the very fabric of Roman military success. The intertwining of religious practice and military ethics fortified the Roman legions. Rituals dedicated to Mars, the god of war, established a sacred framework for the conduct of soldiers. Through offerings and prayers, they sought divine favor, believing that valor on the battlefield was inherently linked to piety. This connection influenced not only individual behavior, but also the collective ethos of the Roman military. Legions engaged in ceremonies before battles, invoking protection and strength. Such rituals cultivated a sense of unity and purpose, binding soldiers through shared beliefs. The fear of divine retribution for cowardice loomed large, further steering behavior in the heat of combat. Soldiers believed that failure to act bravely could lead not only to disgrace but also to the wrath of the gods. The specter of dishonor followed those who turned their backs on the enemy. Temples dedicated to various deities dotted military camps, serving as constant reminders of the divine expectations placed upon them. This reverence permeated daily life, intertwining personal honor with the broader narrative of state and religion. The consequences of desertion echoed far beyond individual punishment. They could tarnish the reputation of entire units. The weight of these beliefs shaped not only the outcome of battles, but the moral code of the Roman military as a whole. Desertion often revealed a complex psychological profile, marked by fear and the instinct for self-preservation. Individuals who chose to abandon their ranks faced an internal struggle, torn between the ingrained values of loyalty and the instinctual drive for survival. Such a decision did not come lightly. It stemmed from a profound sense of vulnerability, perhaps heightened by the horrors witnessed on the battlefield. Those who deserted frequently grappled with the perception of cowardice, an accusation that could lead to ostracization from their peers and community. Isolation became a painful reality for many, as the stigma of betrayal echoed in their minds. The mental toll of this choice was compounded by the looming threat of punishment if caught, an execution that awaited those who turned their backs on the collective. In some instances, the internal conflict manifested as intense anxiety, leading to a breakdown of morale that could ripple through entire units. A soldier's identity, closely tied to their role in the Roman military, became fractured, leaving them searching for meaning amid chaos. This psychological turmoil was not merely an individual experience of us enhanced mining amid chaos. This psychological turmoil was not merely an individual experience. It influenced the cohesion and effectiveness of the military. The fear of desertion permeated ranks, fostering an atmosphere of distrust that could undermine even the most disciplined forces. Intensive military training served as a cornerstone in shaping the behavior of soldiers, instilling a sense of discipline and loyalty imperative for operational success. Rigorous drills and exercises aimed to reinforce teamwork, ensuring that each individual understood their role within the larger unit. This systematic approach cultivated an environment where reliance on comrades became vital, further discouraging the thought of desertion. Soldiers immersed themselves in repetitive tasks, honing skills that would become second nature during combat. Psychological conditioning played a significant part in this transformation. Repeated exposure to stressors created a mental fortitude essential for survival in hostile situations. The design of training programs emphasized not only physical endurance but also resilience against fear and doubt. This dual focus aimed to create a soldier capable of enduring the chaos of battle while remaining steadfast in their commitment to their peers. As soldiers advanced through ranks, additional layers of responsibility were introduced. Leaders were trained to recognize signs of wavering morale among their subordinates, allowing them to address concerns before they escalated into larger issues. The environment fostered a sense of accountability, binding soldiers to one another through shared experiences and collective goals. Leadership failures manifested as a significant catalyst for desertion within the ranks. When commanders exhibited indecision or inconsistency, morale waned, creating an atmosphere ripe for disillusionment. Trust in leadership became precarious, and the bonds that tied soldiers to their mission began to fray. This erosion of confidence often encouraged individuals to abandon their posts, seeking refuge from the turmoil that permeated their units. Ineffective communication further exacerbated the situation. Orders that lacked clarity or rationale left many questioning the purpose of their sacrifices. In a harsh environment where survival depended upon unity and resolve, such uncertainties acted as a poison, spreading doubt amongst the troops. The instinct to protect oneself often outweighed the commitment to the collective cause. While the consequences of leadership failures were not merely personal. Entire cohorts could dissolve in the face of inadequate direction, leaving behind diminished fighting forces. The cascading impact resonated through the ranks, as each act of desertion instigated a ripple effect, encouraging others to follow suit. Desperation grew, and the once formidable war machine began to stall, revealing the fragility of loyalty bound by shaky leadership. This dynamic illustrates the critical role of effective command within the Roman military structure, as well as the profound effects that poor leadership could wield on the cohesion and efficacy of its soldiers. The social stigma associated with cowardice permeated the ranks, deeply embedding itself within the psyche of each soldier. Acts of desertion were not merely viewed as failures of bravery. They were seen as betrayals against the very fabric of Roman society. Such perceptions fostered an atmosphere of fear and mistrust among the soldiers, compelling them to uphold a facade of courage even in the face of overwhelming odds. Within this culture, the repercussions for those labeled as cowards were severe. Punishments often extended beyond mere physical retribution, encompassing social ostracism and a lifetime of shame. Once branded, an individual's identity became forever altered, their name synonymous with disgrace. This enduring stigma profoundly influenced behavior, driving soldiers to endure harrowing conditions rather than risk the consequences of perceived cowardice. The implications of this stigma resonated throughout military formations, instilling an unwavering adherence to the ideals of valor. It served as both a motivational force and a mechanism of control, ensuring that loyalty remained intact despite the challenges faced. The weight of honor and reputation bore heavily on each soldier's shoulders, dictating their actions and decisions under duress. In this way, the Roman military apparatus maintained its structure, even as the shadows of doubt loomed over its once indomitable spirit. The role of women within the Roman military context, while often so overlooked, was complex and multifaceted. Though they were rarely soldiers, their presence was felt in various capacities that supported the military machine. Women served as camp followers, providing essential services such as cooking, nursing, and sewing. This support network was vital for maintaining morale and ensuring the well-being of the troops. In some instances, women took on more direct roles during times of crisis. Historical accounts reveal instances of women fighting alongside soldiers, particularly during sieges or uprisings. Their courage challenged traditional gender roles, albeit occasionally, as such actions were both remarkable and perilous. Some women emerged as leaders within their communities, rallying support for the troops or even organizing defenses in their absence. The emotional and psychological impact of their involvement cannot be understated. They were often the links to home, preserving the connection between soldiers and their families. The societal norms of the time constrained most women to subordinate roles, yet their contributions were essential to the overall function of the military. In this way, the presence of women in the Roman military context reflected a broader social dynamic, one that intertwined bravery, sacrifice, and resilience amid the harsh realities of warfare. Their influence subtly shaped the very fabric of Roman military life. The integration of technology transformed the landscape of warfare, ushering in a new era marked by advancements in weaponry and tactics. Siege engines, such as ballistae and onagers, altered the dynamics of fortifications, rendering once impenetrable walls vulnerable. This region of innovation not only enhanced offensive capabilities, but also influenced defensive strategies, compelling commanders to adapt rapidly to shifting paradigms. Logistics played a critical role in sustaining campaigns, with efficient supply chains ensuring that troops remained well-equipped and nourished. This attention to logistical detail fortified morale, as soldiers relied on the certainty of provisions and reinforcements. When supply lines faltered, the resulting uncertainty often led to despair, undermining the resolve of even the most seasoned legions. Communication technologies, such as signal flags and the extensive use of runners, streamlined command and facilitated coordination across vast distances. These methods allowed for rapid dissemination of orders, crucial during battles where timing was paramount. Soldiers who perceived their leaders as competent and responsive were more likely to maintain confidence in their cause. In contrast, lapses in communication could lead to chaos and confusion, breeding discontent among troops. The psychological ramifications of these fluctuations in morale were profound, often dictating the outcomes of engagements, and the significance of the cohort system in maintaining cohesion became apparent as loyalty and discipline influenced the stability of formations. Each cohort consisted of about 600 men, balanced to ensure flexibility and resilience during combat. This structure allowed for both strategic maneuverability and the capacity to absorb losses while maintaining effectiveness on the battlefield. The division into smaller units cultivated a sense of camaraderie among soldiers, fostering bonds that transcended individual fears and uncertainties. The presence of centurions played a critical role in reinforcing these connections. They served as leaders, motivators, and enforcers, ensuring that each soldier adhered to the ideals of duty and honor. In these moments of intense pressure, the bond formed within the cohort became a vital lifeline, often determining whether a unit would stand firm or falter under stress. Cohorts could adapt to changing conditions, reorganizing swiftly to respond to the ebb and flow of battle. Soldiers were acutely aware of the repercussions of desertion, which extended beyond personal disgrace, impacting the morale of their comrades. The threat of severe punishment for those who fled served as a deterrent, reinforcing the importance of collective responsibility. Each man understood that their actions not only reflected on themselves, but also on the cohesion and survival of the cohort as a whole. Thus, understanding weighed heavily on every soldier, particularly as the grueling nature of warfare seeped into their bones. Battle fatigue, a slow and insidious erosion of resolve, clouded judgment and dulled instincts. When fatigue sets in, the mind becomes a battlefield of its own, where fear and doubt can lead to devastating choices. A soldier may find himself torn between the instinct for self-preservation and the ingrained duty to his comrades. Long marches under the relentless sun, relentless skirmishes with the enemy, and the haunting sounds of conflict create a cumulative toll that can fracture even the strongest wills. This region, once filled with the fervor of heroism, often succumbed to the quiet whispers of despair. Soldiers, weary from endless engagements, faced moments where the urge to flee became almost unbearable. The camaraderie that once bonded them started to fray, weakened by the unrelenting pressure of survival. In such moments, decisions are often made in haste, fueled by exhaustion and the primal need to escape danger. Cowardice, once a distant concept, emerges as a tangible choice, slowly eroding the bonds that held the legion together. The repercussions of such decisions ripple throughout the ranks, echoing long after the dust of battle has settled, leaving behind a lingering sense of doubt and disarray. High desertion rates within Roman military campaigns often stemmed from a combination of psychological, social, and environmental factors. Troops faced immense pressure, both from their commanding officers and the expectations of their peers. These expectations created a culture where the fear of shame could be as potent as the fear of death. Soldiers would find themselves torn between loyalty to their comrades and the instinct for self-preservation, leading to a fragile mindset during prolonged engagements. Battles waged in challenging terrains, such as dense forests or arid deserts, exacerbated feelings of isolation and vulnerability. The harsh conditions, coupled with dwindling supplies, contributed to a sense of hopelessness. In some instances, units that experienced heavy casualties may have faced an uptick in desertion, as survival instincts took precedence over collective duty. Instances of high desertion were often met with harsh penalties to deter further disloyalty. The Legion would impose severe consequences on those who fled, ranging from execution to forced servitude. Such measures, while intended to instill discipline, sometimes had the opposite effect, breeding resentment and further alienation among the ranks. The cycle of fear, distrust, and desperation painted a complex portrait of military life, revealing the fragility of loyalty under the immense strain of warfare. Amidst the tumult of conflict, specific battles stand as pivotal moments, illustrating the ultimate unraveling of troop cohesion. In the fierce engagement at Cannae, a staggering defeat unfolded, showcasing the vulnerability of even the most disciplined legions. The encirclement tactics employed by Hannibal's forces resulted in a catastrophic loss, where the despair of defeat reverberated through ranks, instigating a profound sense of hopelessness among soldiers. This event marked a significant decline in morale, leading to a wavering loyalty that would haunt subsequent campaigns. The Battle of Carrhae further exemplified the consequences of desertion. Facing the Parthian cavalry's relentless advance, Roman troops found themselves overwhelmed. The chaotic retreat of fragmented units highlighted a fracture in resolve, as soldiers abandoned their comrades in the face of overwhelming odds. This loss not only decimated forces, but also eroded the foundational trust essential for unit cohesion. In the Siege of Jerusalem, the strain of prolonged conflict led to a grim reality. Soldiers, worn by starvation and suffering, were forced to confront their limits. The slow disintegration of discipline became evident as desperate acts of self-preservation took precedence over loyalty to the cause. These battles encapsulated the broader themes of disintegration and the harsh realities of war, laying bare the human condition under relentless pressure. The efficiency of the Roman war machine hinged significantly on communication within its chain of command. Orders flowed from generals to centurions, each level responsible for maintaining discipline and coherence among their troops. Clear directives ensured unity in action, minimizing confusion during critical moments on the battlefield. Miscommunication often resulted in disarray, leading to catastrophic outcomes as soldiers faced overwhelming odds without proper guidance. Effective communication extended beyond mere orders. It fostered trust between leaders and their men. This trust was essential for sustaining morale, especially during prolonged campaigns where the specter of desertion loomed. Soldiers relied on their leaders to articulate strategies and objectives, creating a sense of purpose that transcended individual fears. Conversely, a breakdown in this communication could sow seeds of doubt, prompting a spiral of cowardice among ranks. Specific channels were established to relay information swiftly, utilizing signals and messengers to convey vital updates. The importance of clarity in these messages cannot be overstated, as ambiguity bred hesitation. The relentless pressure of warfare demanded that every soldier understood their role and the overarching strategy, reinforcing the necessity for a cohesive narrative in times of chaos. Psychological warfare played a pivotal role in shaping the conduct of soldiers within the Roman legions. This method extended beyond mere physical confrontation, targeting the mind and spirit of the enemy. Propaganda, rumors, and the deliberate instillation of fear served to undermine the morale of opposing forces. It was not uncommon for soldiers to encounter tactics designed to erode their confidence, such as exaggerated accounts of Roman victories or the dissemination of ominous tales regarding the fate of those who dared to resist. Ladex badges had profound implications for the mental state of soldiers. The psychological burden could lead to paralysis in combat situations, resulting in hesitation or desertion. The fear of dishonor or the stigma associated with cowardice weighed heavily on individual soldiers. Those who faltered in the heat of battle faced not only the threat of their enemies, but also the scorn of their peers and the harsh penalties imposed by military law. This environment fostered an atmosphere of constant vigilance, where every soldier was acutely aware of the expectations placed upon them. The mastery of psychological manipulation ensured that the Legion remained a formidable force, capable of instilling dread in adversaries while maintaining an iron grip on the minds of its own ranks. Such tactics were integral to the overall effectiveness of the Roman war machine, illustrating the complexity of warfare beyond mere physical engagements. Training drills served as a fundamental cornerstone in maintaining discipline and cohesion within the ranks. Regular exercises reinforced not only physical endurance, but also mental fortitude, preparing soldiers for the rigors of battle. These repetitive, structured activities created a strong sense of unity among the troops, fostering a collective identity that diminished the instinct for self-preservation at the expense of comrades. Among the importance of leadership became evident. Commanders instilled a sense of duty and loyalty through rigorous training protocols, emphasizing that individual actions directly impacted the survival of the unit. Soldiers learned to rely on each other, developing bonds that transcended fear. This reliance reduced the likelihood of desertion when faced with the chaos of combat, as the understanding of mutual dependence solidified their resolve. The training environment also simulated the conditions of warfare, exposing soldiers to the sounds and chaos they would encounter. This exposure desensitized them to the fear elicited by actual battles, allowing for a more measured response under pressure. The drills served as a crucible, refining their skills and reinforcing the expectation that retreat was not an option. Such an approach created an ethos that valued courage over cowardice, shaping a formidable force capable of executing complex maneuvers in the heat of battle. The repercussions of failure to adhere to this code were severe, ensuring that the tenets of discipline remained firmly entrenched. Charismatic leadership influenced troop loyalty profoundly, shaping the dynamics within the ranks of the Roman military. A leader's ability to inspire and motivate could significantly enhance cohesion among soldiers, fostering an environment where valor flourished. This connection transcended mere commands and orders. It created a shared sense of purpose and a willingness to face adversity together. In instances where charisma was evident, troops exhibited remarkable resilience even in the most challenging circumstances. The presence of a compelling figure could instill confidence, often transforming the morale of an entire unit. These leaders became symbols of strength, embodying the ideals of bravery and commitment that their soldiers aspired to emulate. Their persuasive oratory and personal valor often triggered feelings of loyalty that went beyond duty. Conversely, the absence of such leadership frequently led to disillusionment and unrest among the ranks. Without a motivating figure to rally behind, soldiers experienced uncertainty, diminishing their resolve and increasing the likelihood of disarray. In dire situations, this gap in leadership could spiral into chaos, undermining the effectiveness of military campaigns. The delicate balance of charisma and authority thus played a critical role in maintaining order and unity. The cultural views of death and valor in Roman society were intricately woven into the fabric of daily life. It was a civilization that revered bravery, equating it with honor and respect. Martial valor was celebrated in both public and private spheres, often immortalized through statues, inscriptions, and grand narratives. This reverence extended to the afterlife, where a noble death on the battlefield was seen as a pathway to eternal glory. The ideal soldier embodied virtues of courage and loyalty. Those who fell in battle were often commemorated with elaborate funerals, highlighting their sacrifice. Conversely, the stigma surrounding desertion painted a stark contrast, branding those who fled as pariahs, devoid of honor. The very act of abandoning comrades was viewed not just as a personal failing, but as a betrayal of the collective spirit that underpinned military cohesion. Civic duty and personal valor were intertwined, creating a societal expectation that drove men to confront their fears. In this context, the specter of death became a powerful motivator, compelling soldiers to face the unknown rather than live with the shame of cowardice. The interplay of these beliefs fostered a culture where the pursuit of glory outweighed the fear of mortality, shaping a relentless drive within the Roman war machine. The legal framework surrounding desertion was meticulously structured, reflecting the gravity with which the Romans approached military discipline. Legislation, such as the Lex Julia Divi Publica, outlined severe consequences for soldiers abandoning their post. This law established that desertion was not merely a moral failing, but a crime against the state, undermining the integrity of the entire military apparatus. Punishments were harsh, often culminating in execution or extreme corporal penalties. Commanders wielded the authority to impose these sanctions, reinforcing the idea that loyalty to one's comrades and the empire was paramount. The presence of stringent regulations served as a deterrent, instilling a sense of fear that accompanied the prospect of abandoning one's unit. Soldiers understood that the repercussions extended beyond personal shame. Failure to stand resolutely could lead to the downfall of their peers. This emphasis on accountability created an environment where loyalty was intertwined with survival. In battle, the consequences of desertion extended to entire formations, as the loss of a single soldier could jeopardize the collective effort. Such a reality reinforced the importance of maintaining ranks and preserving morale, fostering an unwavering commitment among soldiers. The stringent legal measures, therefore, played a crucial role in sustaining the operational effectiveness of the Roman military machine in the face of adversity. Historical records reveal a stringent system of trials and punishments for those accused of cowardice, reflecting the uncompromising nature of this military institution. Accusations often emerged in the heat of battle, where fear could spread as rapidly as the conflict itself. A soldier who fled the battlefield faced dire consequences. Trials were conducted swiftly, often with little room for defense. Commanders, under pressure to maintain morale and discipline, frequently sought examples to deter others from similar actions. These proceedings were marked by a rigid adherence to military law, where the defendant's fate hung precariously on the testimonies of their peers. The environment within the encampments became charged with tension as the specter of punitive measures loomed large. Soldiers understood that failure to uphold their duty could lead to severe penalties, including execution. This climate not only reinforced the collective resolve, but also instilled a pervasive atmosphere of fear. Punishments varied widely, with some facing death, while others endured harsh labor or public humiliation. The ultimate aim remained clear: to preserve cohesion and operational effectiveness. This relentless pursuit of discipline left a lasting imprint on the psyche of the Roman legions, solidifying a legacy of unwavering commitment to their duty, despite the inherent risks associated with warfare. The quest for glory and survival intertwined, ensuring that the ethos of the Roman military endured through the ages. The Roman military code established a complex framework where honor played a pivotal role. Soldiers were not merely fighters, they were custodians of a sacred duty, bound by a sense of loyalty to their comrades, their generals, and the empire itself. This commitment manifested in the concept of virtus, a quality that emphasized bravery, integrity, and moral strength. It dictated that every action taken in the field was a reflection of one's character, where the consequences of failure extended beyond personal shame to implications for the entire legion. Desertion was not only frowned upon, it was met with severe penalties. The ramifications encompassed execution, which served as a grim reminder of the stakes involved. Such measures reinforced the importance of collective responsibility. Each soldier understood that their decisions affected the entire unit's fate. In this context, the reputation of the Roman legions was meticulously maintained, bolstered by narratives of valor and sacrifice. Discipline and honor were inextricably linked. The strict training regimens and unwavering adherence to orders ensured that each individual contributed to a cohesive fighting force. This interdependence fostered a culture where acts of bravery were celebrated and cowardice was condemned, thus perpetuating the legacy of the legions throughout history. The emphasis on honor created a formidable military structure that echoed through the annals of time. The implications of desertion extended beyond the battlefield, intricately woven into the fabric of family life. Those who abandoned their posts faced not only personal disgrace, but also severe repercussions for their loved ones. The stigma attached to a soldier's cowardice weighed heavily on families, often leading to ostracism within their communities. The determination of military law to uphold honor meant that the consequences rippled outward, affecting those who had no part in the soldier's decision. Wives and children endured a compounded suffering. Often, they found themselves destitute, stripped of the financial support their loved ones had provided. The absence of a soldier, branded as a coward, brought a profound sense of shame. This stigma tainted relationships, and families became targets of scorn, ostracized for the perceived failings of their member. Such societal pressures could lead to a breakdown of familial bonds, as the emotional toll weighed heavily on the innocent. In some instances, the families of deserters faced legal actions, further complicating their plight. Property confiscation and loss of status were common, plunging them into a cycle of poverty and despair. In a society that revered martial valor, the fallout from desertion served as a grim reminder of the unwavering expectations placed upon those who served and, consequently, upon their families. The implications of desertion extended beyond individual soldiers, influencing military strategies and tactics of the Roman war machine. The specter of abandonment instilled a pervasive atmosphere of distrust within the ranks. Commanders often grappled with the need to maintain troop morale while simultaneously enforcing rigorous discipline. Strategies were crafted not only to confront external threats, but also to mitigate internal dissent, creating a delicate balance between leadership and fear. Troop formations frequently adapted, utilizing tighter formations to minimize the risk of soldiers fleeing during combat. Such strategies reflected a calculated response to the psychological impact of desertion, where uncertainty could undermine the effectiveness of frontline units. This region of tactical thinking also encompassed the implementation of rewards for loyalty, encouraging soldiers to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Moreover, desertion influenced logistical decisions. The movement and supply of troops required careful consideration, as the potential for defection necessitated a focus on maintaining communication and cohesion within units. Leaders often employed deceptive tactics to disguise troop strengths, ensuring that any potential enemy would remain uncertain about their opponent's resolve. The gravity of desertion echoed through the annals of military history, reshaping not only the conduct of specific campaigns, but also the very fabric of Roman military doctrine. Each decision was scrutinized, reflecting a persistent awareness of the fragile loyalty that sustained the vast empire. The perception of desertion permeated Roman literature and art, manifesting as a profound moral dilemma. This phenomenon was often depicted through poignant narratives and striking imagery that emphasized the consequences of abandoning duty. Characters in epic poetry became symbols of loyalty or betrayal, their choices serving as cautionary tales for the populace. These tales were not mere entertainment, they were didactic, reinforcing societal values that exalted honor and fidelity to the state. Visual representations in sculpture and painting echoed these themes, capturing the tension between bravery and cowardice. Heroic figures, often immortalized in marble, stood resolute, their expressions conveying unwavering commitment. In contrast, depictions of deserters were shrouded in shadows, their forms distorted, illustrating not only physical departure, but also a loss of moral compass. This juxtaposition served as a stark reminder of the repercussions faced by those who faltered. In the historical context, these narratives contributed to the construction of a collective identity, fostering a sense of belonging and purpose among citizens. The societal condemnation of desertion was palpable, echoed in the writings of historians and philosophers, who dissected the implications of such actions on the fabric of Roman society. This scrutiny reflected a deep-seated belief that fidelity was essential for the survival and strength of the empire, shaping both cultural expression and civic duty. Military camps served as the crucible for soldier cohesion, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose among the ranks. These fortified enclaves, often strategically positioned near battlefronts, provided not only shelter, but also a communal environment conducive to bonding. Within these confines, routines were established, creating a rhythm to daily life that reinforced discipline and camaraderie. Regular drills and exercises took place in open areas, where soldiers honed their skills and strategies together. The repetition of movements and commands nurtured trust, as each individual relied on their comrades for support. This trust was paramount in the face of adversity, where the strength of the unit often determined the outcome of encounters. In addition to training, shared meals and collective rituals played a critical role in reinforcing social ties. Breaking bread together fostered a sense of belonging, while ceremonies marked significant milestones, such as victories or the remembrance of fallen comrades. These moments created a collective identity, knitting together diverse backgrounds into a singular military ethos. Isolation from the outside world, coupled with the shared experiences of hardship and triumph, solidified bonds. This environment ensured that desertion was not merely a personal failing, but a profound breach of loyalty, underscoring the importance of unity in maintaining the integrity of the Roman war machine. The psychological state of troops played a crucial role in shaping battle outcomes, influencing both individual and collective performance. High morale often translated into unwavering bravery, allowing soldiers to face overwhelming odds with resilience. Conversely, diminished spirits could lead to hesitation, lowering the effectiveness of even the most seasoned veterans. This correlation between morale and combat efficacy was particularly evident during prolonged campaigns, where fatigue and uncertainty could erode confidence. Commanders understood that maintaining morale required more than just strategic acumen. They employed various methods to inspire troops, from motivational speeches to the distribution of rewards. The shared experiences of hardship forged bonds among soldiers, reinforcing their resolve to stand together in the face of adversity. Rituals and ceremonies further solidified this sense of unity, fostering a collective identity that transcended individual fears. In the heat of battle, the impact of morale became even more pronounced. Well-spirited units could execute complex maneuvers with precision, while those beset by doubt often faltered, leading to disarray. Reinforcements arriving to bolster a wavering line often found that their presence alone could revive the spirits of beleaguered troops, turning the tide of engagement. The intricate interplay between psychological fortitude and physical capability shaped the outcomes of conflicts, illustrating that warfare was as much about the mind as it was about weaponry. Roman political discourse reflected a profound aversion to cowardice, intertwining it deeply with notions of honor and virtue. The political elite employed rhetoric that equated bravery with moral integrity, creating a framework where any hint of fear was viewed as not only personal failure, but also a societal threat. This region, steeped in tradition, saw leaders leveraging tales of valor to bolster their own reputations while denigrating opponents who exhibited signs of weakness. Debates within the Senate often revolved around the virtues of steadfastness, with speeches designed to evoke images of past glories. The populace absorbed these narratives, crafting an expectation that leaders must embody unwavering resolve. The consequences of failing to uphold this standard were severe, resulting in not just social ostracism, but also legal repercussions. Desertion, for instance, was met with capital punishment, a reflection of the belief that such acts undermined the very fabric of Roman society. The portrayal of military leaders was equally influenced by these ideals. Successful generals were celebrated, while those perceived as cowardly faced scorn and disgrace. This dichotomy reinforced the notion that military success was inherently linked to personal valor. In essence, the political landscape of Rome was intricately woven with the threads of courage, fear, and the dire consequences that arose from their interplay. The evolution of military laws concerning desertion reflected the complexities of maintaining order within the ranks. Over time, stringent regulations emerged, driven by the need to deter disloyalty and ensure cohesion among soldiers. These laws were often harsh, prescribing severe penalties for those who abandoned their posts. Execution was a common fate for deserters, highlighting the gravity with which the Roman military viewed the act of fleeing. In this environment, the concept of honor became paramount. Soldiers were indoctrinated with the principles of loyalty and sacrifice. The expectation of unwavering allegiance to their commanders and fellow soldiers permeated military training. This cultural imperative was reinforced through public displays of punishment, serving as grim reminders of the consequences of desertion. Legal codes evolved to specifically address various circumstances surrounding abandonment. Factors such as external threats, the inability to fulfill orders due to adverse conditions, or psychological distress, were considered in some instances, reflecting a nuanced understanding of the human experience in warfare. Nevertheless, the overarching framework remained rooted in the notion that desertion compromised not only individual integrity, but also the collective strength of the legion. This evolution mirrored broader societal values, intertwining the fates of soldiers, commanders, and the empire itself. In the end, the legacy of these laws shaped not only the military, but also the cultural identity of Rome. Veteran soldiers played a crucial role in defining military culture within Rome. Their experiences, forged in the crucible of battle, imparted a wealth of knowledge and tradition that transcended generations. The respect accorded to veterans established a hierarchy that permeated the ranks, where the wisdom of seasoned warriors informed strategies and fostered camaraderie among troops. Tales of valor and loyalty became foundational narratives, weaving a strong sense of identity among soldiers. Many veterans took on mentorship roles, guiding younger recruits in the art of warfare and instilling discipline. This transfer of skills was vital in maintaining the effectiveness of the Roman legions, ensuring that the tactics developed over centuries were preserved and adapted in response to evolving threats. The shared hardship of military campaigns forged bonds that created a cohesive unit, uniting soldiers under a common purpose. Of Instioficanarch Newtons that created a cohesive unit, uniting soldiers under a common purpose. Atholfan Biocorsations the Polter. The reputation of veterans contributed to their status as pillars of society. Their service was often commemorated through monuments, ceremonies, and the granting of privileges, reinforcing their importance within the broader cultural landscape. This recognition fostered a sense of pride, encouraging new generations to aspire to the soldier's life. Such influences extended beyond military affairs, shaping the ethos of Roman society itself and leaving a lasting imprint on its historical narrative. The psychological impact of defeat on troop morale proved profound, permeating through the ranks of the Roman legions. Losses on the battlefield ignited a cascade of doubt and fear among soldiers. Trust in leadership began to erode as the specter of failure loomed large. This unease not only affected individual warriors, but also rippled through entire cohorts, creating an environment where cohesion faltered. Such deteriorating morale could be observed in the diminished will to fight, leading to instances of desertion. Soldiers, faced with the heavy weight of defeat, often questioned the motivations and objectives of their campaigns. This internal conflict manifested in anxiety and a reluctance to engage. The psychological toll extended beyond immediate combatants. Families and communities felt the repercussions of losses, amplifying the fear of repercussions for those who returned home defeated. The stigma attached to failure was palpable, often resulting in ostracism and shame. Resilience became an elusive quality, as tales of valor and honor were overshadowed by the haunting specter of defeat. These dynamics played a crucial role in shaping military strategies moving forward. Leaders had to account for the human element in warfare, recognizing that morale was as critical as tactical advantage. In this way, the legacy of defeat reverberated through history, forever altering the Roman military landscape. Political machinations often intertwined with military loyalty, creating an environment where allegiance was both crucial and perilous. Commanders navigated the treacherous waters of loyalty to their soldiers and obedience to the Senate, each decision carrying profound implications. The loyalty of troops depended heavily on their leaders, whose favor could sway the fortunes of a campaign. In times of peace, the Senate wielded influence over military appointments, yet during conflict, it was the generals who held the reins of power. This duality fostered a precarious balance. The threat of desertion loomed large, especially when soldiers perceived a disconnect between their sacrifices and the political ambitions of their leaders. Discontent among the ranks often found expression through mutiny, a reflection of the fragile trust binding the military to the political elite. Instances of betrayal were not uncommon. When the promise of reward faltered, so too did loyalty. The consequences of such fractures were severe. Desertion was met with harsh penalties, a grim reminder of the importance of unity in the face of adversity. Commanders employed various strategies to maintain morale, ranging from incentives to public displays of loyalty, the interplay of political power and military integrity forged an intricate relationship that shaped both the rise and fall of empires. Each decision made in this critical intersection resonated through the annals of history. The Senate wielded considerable influence over military affairs, often dictating strategies that would define the outcomes of various campaigns. This governing body played a pivotal role in the recruitment and deployment of legions, carefully weighing the loyalty and bravery of soldiers against the potential costs of conflict. Within these deliberations, desertion was viewed not merely as a personal failure, but as a betrayal that threatened the very fabric of Roman strength and unity. Legislation was established to address the repercussions of such actions, imposing severe penalties on those who chose to abandon their posts. The perceived cowardice of a soldier could lead to a range of consequences, including public shame, confiscation of property, or even execution. Such measures were intended to maintain discipline within the ranks and to dissuade others from contemplating a similar course of action. The Senate's decisions extended beyond punishment, shaping the very culture of the military. Loyalty and honor became cornerstones of a soldier's identity, reinforced by the rhetoric of Senate speeches and public proclamations. This environment fostered an unwavering commitment to duty and service, where the consequences of desertion served as a constant reminder of the stakes involved. In this manner, the Senate not only governed the military, but also molded the principles that would define the Roman legions throughout time. This intricate governance extended to the function of military tribunals, a crucial mechanism for addressing acts of cowardice within the ranks. These courts operated with the authority to determine the fate of soldiers accused of abandoning their posts or exhibiting undue fear in the face of battle. The consequences were often severe, reflecting the overarching belief in the sanctity of duty and loyalty. Those found guilty faced penalties ranging from severe punishment to execution, reinforcing the societal expectation of valor. The establishment of these tribunals promoted a culture where courage was not only encouraged but mandated. Soldiers understood that their actions would be scrutinized, and this knowledge influenced their behavior on the battlefield. The very existence of military tribunals served to uphold discipline and deter potential acts of cowardice, creating a system where honor and reputation were paramount. Within the confines of these courts, testimonies were carefully examined, evidence meticulously gathered, and decisions rendered with a calculated sense of justice. The implications of cowardice were not solely confined to the individual. They affected the morale of entire legions. As such, the role of military tribunals went beyond mere punishment. They functioned as instruments of cohesion, ensuring that the Roman legions remained steadfast in their resolve to protect the Republic. The echo of their judgments resonated throughout the ranks, instilling a deep-seated fear of disgrace. Durfor the Gestes. Discipline evolved significantly through the Roman Republic and the Empire, becoming a cornerstone of military effectiveness. Commanders recognized that maintaining order was essential for cohesive action in the face of adversity. This region witnessed the first formalized training regimens, where soldiers were subjected to rigorous drills designed to instill obedience and unity among diverse troops. Such practices ensured that every individual knew their role within the larger framework of military strategy. The punishment for desertion took on various forms, ranging from public humiliation to execution. This was not merely a deterrent, it represented the gravity of loyalty within Roman ideals. The punishment system served to reinforce the belief that every soldier's actions directly impacted the entire legion. In time, these practices fostered a culture of mutual accountability among ranks, creating a sense of collective identity that transcended personal ambition. As the empire expanded, the need for discipline became even more pronounced. Remote territories demanded adherence to strict codes of conduct. As the complexities of governance and military engagement grew, thus, the military developed a hierarchy where leadership was defined by both skill and the capacity to maintain order. These structures not only facilitated effective command, but also ensured the continuity of Roman ideals across vast distances. Through evolving practices, the Roman military forged an identity rooted in discipline and loyalty, shaping the empire's legacy. Training camps emerged as critical environments designed to instill a sense of commitment and resilience within recruits. These facilities served not merely as places of instruction, but as transformative spaces that molded individuals into cohesive units. Rigorous schedules dominated daily life, emphasizing physical prowess, tactical proficiency, and mental fortitude. Such training sought to forge bonds among soldiers, fostering an understanding that their survival depended on mutual reliance. In these camps, recruits faced intense physical challenges and simulated combat scenarios, replicating the harsh realities of warfare. This preparation extended beyond mere survival skills. It cultivated a psychological readiness to endure the rigors of battle. By the time soldiers were deployed, they had internalized not only techniques of warfare, but also the values of duty and honor that defined the Roman ethos. The structured environment also facilitated the identification and isolation of individuals unfit for service. Those deemed lacking in courage or commitment could be dismissed, which served to maintain a higher standard among the ranks. This selective process reduced the likelihood of desertion, as only those fully integrated into the military culture remained. Consequently, the emphasis on training and cohesion in these camps played a vital role in sustaining the effectiveness of the Roman military, ensuring that loyalty and discipline remained cornerstones of their formidable presence across the empire. Cultural narratives significantly shaped soldier identity within the Roman military framework. Ideals of honor, valor, and loyalty permeated the collective consciousness, transforming ordinary men into dedicated warriors. This region, steeped in myth and historical legacy, fostered a sense of belonging. Soldiers were often immersed in stories of Rome's legendary heroes, which encouraged them to emulate these figures in their own lives. The tales of triumph and sacrifice cultivated strong emotional ties to the empire, reinforcing the concept of individual duty. It was within this environment that camaraderie emerged as a fundamental component of soldier identity. Bonds formed in the face of shared adversity created a profound sense of unity. This collective spirit often outweighed personal fears, compelling soldiers to act in defense of their comrades and the ideals they represented. Rituals and ceremonies celebrated these narratives, solidifying their importance in the daily lives of the troops. The consequences of deviating from these cultural expectations were severe. Desertion was viewed not only as a failure to fulfill one's duty, but as a betrayal of the very ideals that defined Roman identity. Such acts were met with harsh penalties, serving as stark reminders of the heavy burden carried by those who donned the armor. In this way, cultural narratives were not simply stories, they were the backbone of the Roman soldier's psyche, shaping behavior and commitment within the ranks. Historical examples served as poignant reminders of the grim consequences of desertion within the Roman army. Tales of former soldiers who fled the battlefield circulated among the ranks, illustrating the harsh penalties awaiting those who abandoned their posts. The fate of these individuals, often depicted in public spectacles, reinforced the notion that cowardice would not be tolerated. Such narratives depicted the ignominy of betrayal, with deserters subjected to execution or severe mutilation, ensuring that the fear of retribution loomed large in the minds of their comrades. The story of the legions at the Battle of Cowardice stands as a stark illustration. Following their defeat, many soldiers faced dire repercussions for their perceived cowardice, leading to a culture in which loyalty was paramount. The sense of unity among soldiers was further cemented by these accounts, fostering an environment where the act of desertion was viewed as a betrayal not only to the state but to fellow soldiers. In this context, the Roman military strategically utilized these historical examples to instill discipline. The consistent emphasis on loyalty, reinforced through vivid retellings of past failures, the Roman response to foreign troops exhibiting perceived cowardice often involved a calculated display of military might. Such encounters were met with strategic formations designed to intimidate and overwhelm. In this context, the might of the legions was not merely a display of force, but a carefully orchestrated message aimed at both adversaries and their own ranks. It served as a reminder that bravery and resolve were paramount virtues within the empire. Shaming tactics were prevalent. Captured enemy soldiers faced not only defeat, but public humiliation, reinforcing the narrative that surrender equated to cowardice. The spectacle of execution or enslavement of those deemed weak further solidified this concept, instilling fear and compliance in potential foes. This region's military leaders understood that the will to fight was often as crucial as the weaponry wielded. Additionally, propaganda played a significant role. Accounts of heroic Roman victories spread throughout the empire, elevating the notion of valor while tarnishing the reputations of opponents. It was not uncommon for tales of foreign troops retreating to be exaggerated, painting an image of a weaker enemy that further justified military action. Such responses were not confined to mere battlefield tactics. They extended into the cultural fabric of Roman society, shaping perceptions of honor and bravery. In this way, the empire maintained its grip on power, fostering a relentless pursuit of strength and unity among its ranks. Strategic retreats played a pivotal role in maintaining the cohesion of military forces. This tactic allowed commanders to preserve their troops for future engagements, minimizing the risk of widespread desertion when faced with overwhelming odds or unfavorable terrain. The decision to withdraw was often seen not as an act of cowardice, but as a calculated measure to regroup and reassess. Such actions demonstrated a deep understanding of battlefield dynamics, where survival could ensure long-term success. The implementation of these tactical retreats was carefully orchestrated, often accompanied by a reallocation of resources and reinforcements. By creating a buffer, commanders could defend vital positions while simultaneously bolstering morale among the ranks. Troops understood that retreating could lead to eventual victories, fostering a sense of loyalty and commitment to the strategic vision laid out by their leaders. This mindset reduced instances of desertion, as soldiers felt they were part of a larger, ongoing mission rather than facing imminent defeat. Historical accounts reveal that many successful military leaders employed this approach, turning potential failures into opportunities for revival. The ability to retreat effectively preserved manpower and resources, enabling forces to return stronger and more unified. In this environment, discipline and strategy outweighed the impulse to abandon post. solidifying the empire's authority even in the face of adversity. The symbolism of the Roman eagle served as a powerful emblem of loyalty and unity within the ranks. It represented more than just a bird. It was a manifestation of the empire's ideals and aspirations. The eagle, soaring high above the legions, became synonymous with strength and resilience. Its presence offered not only a rallying point for soldiers, but also a reminder of the honor that came with serving the empire. Unit insignias often featured this majestic creature, reinforcing the bonds among comrades. Soldiers marched with the eagle standard held aloft, embodying their dedication to one another and the empire. In moments of uncertainty, the sight of the eagle provided hope, instilling a sense of purpose that transcended individual fears. The Roman eagle was not merely a decorative symbol. It represented a commitment to a greater cause, a legacy that demanded unwavering loyalty. Discipline was reinforced by this emblem, as desertion was viewed not just as a personal failure, but a betrayal of the eagle itself. Consequences for such acts were severe, reflecting the gravity of abandoning the collective. This connection between the eagle and loyalty shaped the very fabric of the legions, nurturing a culture that prioritized the strength of unity over individual weakness. The eagle's watchful gaze remained a constant reminder of the sacrifices made for the empire and the unwavering loyalty expected from its soldiers. The hierarchical nature of the Roman command structure profoundly influenced soldier behavior on the battlefield. Orders disseminated from the highest ranks, creating a chain of responsibility that was both revered and feared. This environment fostered a culture of obedience, where disobedience could lead to severe repercussions, including punishment or death. Soldiers often found themselves in a precarious position, torn between loyalty to their commanders and the instinct for self-preservation. In this region of relentless strife, the presence of centurions played a crucial role. These leaders, often at the forefront of combat, embodied both authority and accountability. Their decisions shaped the morale of the troops, reinforcing the expectation of valor and discipline. Each command was not merely a directive, but an embodiment of the empire's ideals, demanding unwavering commitment from its ranks. The psychological pressure exerted by the command hierarchy led to complex interactions among soldiers. Some exhibited extraordinary bravery, driven by the desire for honor and recognition, while others succumbed to fear, risking the stigma associated with cowardice. Such dynamics played out in the heat of battle, where a moment's hesitation could spell disaster for the unit. In the aftermath of conflict, the consequences of these behaviors were often laid bare, with the specter of desertion haunting the remnants of the once formidable legions, a stark reminder of the fragility of loyalty. The psychological toll on soldiers during extended campaigns significantly influenced their performance and allegiance. Mental resilience often determined survival in the face of harrowing circumstances. Commanders recognized that fostering a supportive atmosphere could mitigate some of the psychological burdens faced by troops. In this context, the role of camaraderie emerged as a crucial factor. Bonds formed between soldiers provided a buffer against the stress of warfare, creating a sense of shared purpose and mutual reliance. Training sessions emphasized not only physical prowess, but also mental fortitude, encouraging soldiers to confront their fears and anxieties. These preparatory measures aimed to instill confidence, allowing troops to navigate the chaos of battle with a greater sense of control. Rituals and traditions within legions further reinforced psychological support, creating an environment where soldiers could find solace amid chaos. Additionally, the presence of experienced leaders played a vital role in maintaining morale. Their guidance and ability to articulate a vision inspired troops during moments of uncertainty. This influence helped to create a culture of resilience, where soldiers felt accountable not only to their commanders but also to one another. Such collective responsibility often reduced instances of desertion, highlighting the profound impact of psychological well-being on loyalty and operational effectiveness in the theater of war. Analysis of historical texts reveals a complex landscape of motivations behind desertion and cowardice. Accounts from military leaders of ancient Rome often emphasize the dire consequences faced by those who fled the battlefield. These narratives serve to reinforce the ethos of courage and honor, instilling a sense of duty that pervaded the ranks. Writers such as Tacitus and Livy document instances where fear and despair led to the abandonment of posts, shedding light on the psychological burdens endured by soldiers. In these writings, desertion is frequently depicted as a betrayal, not only of comrades but also of the state. The repercussions were harsh, often culminating in execution or public disgrace. This treatment served as a deterrent, reinforcing a culture where the perception of cowardice was met with severe societal judgment. It is noteworthy that these texts often reflect a duality in understanding human behavior. While they condemn desertion, they simultaneously acknowledge the overwhelming pressures that soldiers faced, including extreme fatigue, hunger, and the horrors of battle. Further examination of archaeological findings supports these textual analyses. Items left behind, remnants of personal belongings, suggest a hurried departure, often driven by desperation rather than a lack of resolve. This interplay of historical accounts and material culture provides a comprehensive view of the human experience within the Roman military framework. The dissemination of information in ancient Rome was a critical factor in shaping military reputation. The early system of communication relied heavily on inscriptions, public announcements, and the spoken word. This region saw the rise of the Roman Forum as a central hub for the exchange of news and opinions. It served as a platform where soldiers' deeds could be celebrated or condemned, influencing public perception significantly. Social networks in this context were formed through relationships among citizens and soldiers. These connections allowed for the rapid spread of stories concerning valor or cowardice, often embellished through retelling. Such narratives could elevate an individual's status or lead to disgrace, affecting recruitment and morale across legions. The consequences of reputation were profound. A soldier's bravery could inspire camaraderie and loyalty, while accusations of desertion could lead to social ostracism. Soldiers who returned home faced scrutiny from peers and their communities, often dictated by the tales circulating in these informal networks. The impact of these narratives extended beyond personal reputation to influence military discipline and cohesion within the ranks. In this way, the ancient forms of social media acted as both a mirror and a magnifier of military culture, shaping the ethos of Rome's legions through the stories told and retold across generations. Rituals and ceremonies emerged as vital instruments for reinforcing loyalty among the soldiers of Rome. These formal observances served to unite individuals under a common identity, instilling a sense of belonging and purpose. The significance of oaths taken before battle cannot be overstated. Pledges of allegiance to the empire created a binding contract between soldier and state, elevating personal commitment to a collective responsibility. Ceremonies marking victories played a crucial role in solidifying morale and fostering camaraderie. Triumphs were celebrated with grand parades, during which soldiers received accolades and recognition. This public acknowledgement of bravery and loyalty strengthened the bonds between comrades, enhancing their resolve to stand together in future conflicts. The invocation of deities during military rites further added a layer of divine endorsement to the soldiers' endeavors. Prayers and sacrifices were made to seek favor and protection, reinforcing the belief that loyalty to Rome aligned with the will of the gods. Such spiritual dimensions of military life cultivated a profound sense of duty, transcending mere obligation. For in times of adversity, these rituals offered comfort and reassurance, reminding soldiers of their shared heritage and the enduring legacy of their sacrifices. The cyclical nature of these observances ensured that the principles of loyalty and courage were perpetually instilled, fostering an unwavering commitment to the Roman cause. The principles of military discipline echo through history, offering insights into contemporary practices. Modern armed forces reflect on the Roman model, which emphasized strict adherence to hierarchy and order. This emphasis cultivated a sense of belonging, where each soldier understood their role within a larger framework, crucial for operational effectiveness in today's complex environments. Training regimens often mirror this ancient structure, fostering a collective identity among servicemen and women. The psychological aspect of discipline, rooted in the Roman approach, remains relevant. It is understood that the strength of a unit lies not solely in individual capabilities, but in the cohesion that emerges from shared values and experiences. The application of structured consequences for breaches of discipline, as practiced by the Romans, resonates in contemporary military justice systems. Accountability serves not only as a deterrent but reinforces the concept of trust within ranks. This trust is essential for the seamless execution of missions where reliance on one another can dictate success or failure. Recognition of achievements, parallel to Roman traditions, further solidifies morale and loyalty. Celebrating victories and honoring sacrifices sustains motivation and resilience among troops. The lessons derived from these ancient practices continue to shape the ethos of military organizations, ensuring that the commitment to duty remains steadfast in the face of evolving challenges. For the enduring legacy of Roman military values manifests in contemporary warfare, where concepts of discipline and loyalty remain pivotal. These principles, forged in the crucible of ancient battles, inform the structure and operations of modern military forces. While technology has transformed the battlefield, the core tenets of commitment and bravery echo through history, influencing leadership strategies and unit cohesion. In this context, the emphasis on training reflects a desire to instill a sense of purpose and belonging among service members. Rigorous preparation routines echo the Roman emphasis on physical endurance and tactical proficiency. This commitment to excellence fosters resilience in the face of adversity, ensuring that individuals are prepared for the complexities of modern engagements. The interpretation of honor and valor persists, guiding soldiers as they navigate ethical dilemmas. Codes of conduct derived from Roman ideals shape decisions, reinforcing the belief that actions must align with a greater purpose. Such values are particularly significant in asymmetric warfare, where the challenges of unconventional tactics require unwavering resolve. In the realm of international relations, the lessons of Roman military organization extend beyond the battlefield. The strategic use of alliances and the importance of maintaining influence reflect a legacy that informs contemporary defense policies. This intricate web of historical values continues to shape the strategic landscape, providing a framework for understanding the dynamics of power and responsibility. Comparative studies of desertion across different military histories reveal patterns that transcend specific cultures and epochs. Various armies throughout history have grappled with the concept of loyalty, often defining it through strict codes of conduct. In ancient Greece, for instance, the repercussions of abandonment during battle not only affected the individual soldier, but extended to the entire unit, fostering a culture of collective accountability. This region witnessed severe penalties, including execution, for those who chose to flee, reinforcing the necessity of unity in the face of conflict. In contrast, the early modern period highlighted different motivations for desertion. Soldiers in the 30 Years' War frequently cited personal hardships, such as starvation and disease, as catalysts for their retreat. These circumstances influenced military leaders to adapt their strategies, implementing measures aimed at maintaining morale and welfare among troops. By examining these instances, it becomes evident that external factors greatly impacted decisions made in the heat of battle. The American Civil War provided yet another lens through which to explore this phenomenon. Desertion rates surged as soldiers faced the grim realities of prolonged conflict, with many seeking refuge in the promise of a more peaceful existence. Here, the emotional toll of warfare played a critical role, illustrating how psychological aspects can intertwine with the historical narrative of military service. Through these varied contexts, the complexities of desertion emerge, reflecting broader themes of human behavior in times of strife. The lasting implications of desertion and cowardice resonate beyond the specific events of any single conflict. This phenomenon highlights the intricate psychological interplay between loyalty, fear, and survival instinct. It reveals how the pressures of war can fracture the bonds of camaraderie that initially forge military units. This region, once defined by unity, can quickly transform into a landscape marked by suspicion and betrayal. The specter of punishment hangs heavily over those who falter, serving as both a deterrent and a tragic consequence of war's relentless demands. The fear of retribution often outweighs the fear of death, illustrating the profound impact of leadership and morale in maintaining cohesion among soldiers. Each act of desertion not only alters the fates of individuals, but can shift the entire momentum of a campaign, revealing the fragility of military strength. Understanding these dynamics offers critical insights into modern warfare. Contemporary strategies continue to incorporate psychological elements, recognizing that the human experience remains at the forefront of conflict. As the lessons of history unfold, leaders analyze past behaviors to cultivate resilience in their ranks. The echoes of these ancient battles remind us that the moral complexities of human behavior amid adversity persist today, illustrating the timeless nature of courage and the struggles against despair.